Welcome to the end. This finale confirms that Hachima is Hato's older sister. She is a real person, separate from Hato. However, Hachima is missing. Something has caused Hato to manifest Hachima as an alternate personality. Stay tuned to learn what happened to Hachima and why Hato coexists with her. Let's start with the bad end stream. The stream starts with Hato in her home. The gates have a keep out sign, and the setting is an ominous night. We see Hato hanging. A horror song plays that begins with Hato asking Hachima to let her be, saying that she will force Hachima to stop controlling her. She contradicts herself by saying she still wants it to go on. Hato misses Hachima, but she also wants freedom from her. Hachima wants to be the one in control, doing everything for Hato because Hato feels that the world is meaningless now that her sister is gone. Hato still loves Hachima, but wants to be in control of herself again. Hato's grief is preventing her from doing so. She professes a willingness to cut off her own head to regain control. The song ends, and then Hachima is shown behind a curtain. Hachima says the game Hato was playing looked interesting, and that she would have cleared it much easier than her sister did. She says today is Hachima Day. Hato has always seen her older sister as being stronger than her. That's why the Hachima personality manifested as the more confident one. Hachima then tries to open the door and calls Hato. Hato gets on her computer and tries to enjoy herself, but Hachima continues to intrude. Hato is seen crying, trying to stop Hachima from emerging, but she feels trapped. We then see a remix of the Kagome Kagome Hachima version. The music video emphasizes the parts of the lore where Hato says she wants to be Hachima. We then see Hachima haunting Hato in her dreams. Hachima toys with the audience a bit, saying the story will end after a commercial message, but that wasn't true. We see Hato showing up at a fan's house with a recipe that includes her fans. Then Hachima asks if we want more of the story. Hato wakes up from a nightmare, then picks up a picture frame of herself and her big sister as children. She then drops the frame, shattering it. We see Hato having a severe mental breakdown. Hachima is continuing to invade her thoughts. Hato wants to forget, but Hachima won't allow her to do that. We then hear knocking on Hato's bedroom door. Hachima is arriving. We hear Hachima commanding Hato to stay away from an unknown threat. This is possibly referring to an abusive guardian. However, she also threatens that Hato must do what she says or she might kill her. I think this is the Hachima personality within Hato, who is saying this, not Hato's real sister. Since Hato loves Hachima, it wouldn't make sense for the real Hachima to have been so menacing. The next song begins with Hato dressed up in Hachima's dark outfit. The line, "faces identical, bodies the same," could mean they are identical twins or that Hato and Hachima share one body, or both. They coexist forever in one body at present. Hato expresses her sorrow that Hachima left her. We see Hato speaking to Hachima on the phone. However, she tells us that Hachima is gone. She calls herself stupid and childish for still trying to talk to Hachima. She then wishes that she could forget about Hachima, telling her older sister to hide and disappear. Hachima doesn't do so and remains as an alternate personality inside Hato's body. The alternate personality wants to take over completely, not allowing Hato to ever be free. Here, Hachima explicitly blames Hato for what has happened to her. Hato is feeling incredibly guilty for what happened to her older sister. We get the sense that Hachima's head has been removed, and that Hachima is getting back at Hato for doing that. At the end of the stream, Hachima has Hato's heart. Hato is again seen hanging. This scene confirms Hato is feeling suicidal due to the guilt she feels from what happened to Hachima. She wants to be free and live her life, but she can't get over what happened. Let's head into the final episode to discover the cause of Hato's anguish. The final episode. First, Hato welcomed us back to the channel and said she was sorry for keeping us waiting for so long, remarking on how long it had been. Then we come to multiple scenes with Hato and Hachima playing as children. Hato asks if Hachima promises she will always be there for her, and Hachima insists that she will never leave Hato's side. They play hide and seek, where Hachima finds Hato, and they look like they're having a good time. Child Hato and Hachima are playing when Hachima runs into the road and gets hit by a car. We hear the car swerve, and we hear ambulance sirens off in the distance. We hear Hato's anguished cries with her yelling no. Next is a scene of Hato in the present day crying. She is displaying stitches on her neck. Hachima's head is in a jar behind her. This means the day that Hachima died, Hato cut off her sister's head and put it in a jar to conserve her memory. Hato has stitched her neck to feel as if she and Hachima are physically trading one body between the two of them. I still don't think that is actually happening, and it's just Hato acting out what is going on in her mind. Seeing your beloved older sister die is a very traumatic experience. This means my prior prediction of dissociative identity disorder was correct. However, I was wrong about the cause. Hachima's death was the trauma that caused the disorder to develop. Abuse might have been why Hato relied on Hachima so much, but it was not the origin of the disorder. Hato wants to be free of her suffering, but says it's nothing and that everything is fine. She says she can suppress the negative thoughts on her own. We in the audience, however, know that isn't true. She has a mental breakdown and wonders why Hachima is always intruding on her thoughts despite her trying to suppress her deceased sister. She wishes again that Hachima would leave her alone. Next, we see a scene where Hachima apologizes to Hato for not being there for her and for not keeping her promise. Hato then asks for the audience to help them both. She posits that this is the bad end, and that it's possibly the true end. Then she posits a happy end. It's unclear which ending Hato is considering the true end. We then get an ending where Hato prevents Hachima from going into the road. Hato is able to keep Hachima safe. They are now able to coexist forever as sisters, with both of them remaining alive. Finally, we see Hato telling Hachima to get up because it's time for them to go to school. Unfortunately, I think the good ending is what Hato is deluding herself into believing. As we saw before, Hato calls Hachima on the phone, but admits that Hachima is gone. She is talking to no one. We see Hato dressing up as Hachima, and we see her wishing that everyone would leave her alone so she can continue seeing Hachima, existing in a world of delusion. Hato's mental health issues have not been resolved, therefore coexist is not a happy ending. She would need to see a psychologist for treatment. That way Haato could truly find peace. Lastly, I think the streamer has removed the Red Heart personality from the lore. I don't think the stream's archive was kept private because of someone's rules. I think Hachima doesn't want that to be considered part of the story. This makes sense to me because I can't find a way that it fits into the narrative. I think everything she put in her story playlist is what she considers essential to the story. She mentioned after the story's conclusion that there might be bits of lore in her normal streams going forward. I have linked a video in the description that translated what she said at the end of the stream. My only regret with this series is that I don't have enough clout to be able to write Hachima a recommendation letter. She'd be a great anime voice actress and story writer. This has been Waifu Theory, analyzing your favorite waifus so you can enjoy them safely. See you next time!